All right. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Royally Unapologetic podcast, where we are talking all about building brands that make people pleasers clutch their pearls and dream clients say, oh, hell yes, take my money. Let's get into it. First of all, welcome back for season 3, everybody. In today's episode, we're going to be addressing exactly how you should be investing in your brand at each stage of business so that you can effectively grow your business, optimize for sales, credibility, recognition, and connection at every single stage. And the last one is one that nobody ever really talks about. And you guys are just gonna have to bear with me as I get back into the swing of recording. I've been off for like 2.5 months. And life has been lifing lately. I will drop an episode, a bonus episode, later this month, going through all of the shit that has happened, and just giving you a little bit of a life update. But in the meantime, you're just gonna have to bear with me if I'm like a little bit off from my normal cadence. But anyway, let's get into the tea. How and when do I invest in my brand? I feel like this is a question that a lot of people have internally, but they just generally attack haphazardly and don't have an effective strategy for it. And what I see a lot of the time is that people will invest too early or too late, and then they feel like they've been burned when in reality it was really just a different or wrong type of investment to make at the wrong stage. And the truth of the matter is that your brand matters at every single stage in business, but different things matter more, quote unquote, more at different stages based on what you've built thus far. And as somebody who has built brands for baby business owners all the way up to 6 and 7 figure entrepreneurs, I have found that these following things that we're going to go through today are the most crucial for each stage. So from that baby business owner all the way up to multiple 7 figures. When you are a baby business owner, there are 2 priorities that you need to have when it comes to your brand. Priority number 1 is credibility and brand recognition. This means that you need to pick a couple of good fonts, pick a couple of good colors, and stick with them. Don't be changing it up every 5 seconds. You are working to build recognition and consistency with those consistent visuals, and that's going to help breed credibility because there's a consistent quality thread through your visual presence. Priority number 2 is the non-visual side of your brand. And that really lays the foundation for your audience and the community that you build and the clients that you sign. It is the foundation for self-expression, connection, and quite literally the entire foundation of your business as a whole, from your offers to your stories, all the way down to your marketing, and that having a direct impact on how you sign clients, what types of clients you sign, and how much money you can charge them. And I have a signature framework that is the exact foundation that I use on my clients in the beginning stages in their business and when they are scaling to an agency. So it is a scalable framework, a scalable model. And if you want to learn more about that framework, check out the Rebel Academy on my website. That is the program that I use to teach my students the exact framework that I use with my clients and how to apply it to your business. So that is stage 1. Stage 2 is when you have started to land some clients and you're starting to get the hang of your content. Maybe you're building up a little bit of a community, and this is the perfect time to invest in something semi-custom or a template. So this could look like a branding VIP day where a website designer or a brand designer does some smaller scale branding work for you. Maybe it's semi-custom. You could implement that in a website template then. And this is when your website starts to become a little bit more crucial to credibility and conversions. But at this stage, you still have so much learning and exploration and refinement to do that unless you are like 1,000% on your shit, and you've got everything streamlined, I wouldn't recommend getting a custom website done at this stage. And if you're sitting there rolling your eyes because you're like, Molly, templates are lame. They're all so beige and cringe and blah and boring. I feel you. And I actually created an entire template shop specifically for people who hate templates because I'm one of them. I hate templates and I think they're boring. So I built my own. And if you are in that boat, go ahead to my website. You can check out the template shop and you can get a template for the girlies who freaking hate templates. And there are single page templates and there are multi page templates. So there's a wide variety of options, and we're constantly adding to the shop. So tons of options there. You can thank me later. Stage number 3 is when you have started landing pretty consistent clients and you are wanting to take it up a notch, where you're wanting to either raise your rates, increase your capacity, increase your monthly recurring revenue. This is when you should be investing in your first custom or semi-custom website, where the focus is more on conversion so that you can really effectively drive sales and book out your offers further and further in advance. Now, stage 4 is not for everybody. Not everybody's going to do this, but stage 4 is when you are starting to scale from a personal brand into an agency. And this is where you need to come back to that foundation that I mentioned earlier. And you need to take that framework, basically the foundation of your business, your community, your clients, your marketing, and translate it to the agency model. So this means repositioning your brand as a premium agency without losing the culture, the community, the personality, and just the overall foundation of your business and your brand that made it so successful in the first place. Because when it comes to scaling, it is not just your offers that drove that success. It's you, it's your community, it's your communication, the culture that you've built. And when you're trying to scale to an agency and you want that agency to be scalable, you want that agency to be successful, you need to translate that original brand and everything that made it successful into that agency model so that you can effectively continue to scale that success without turning into like cold corporate-esque oh my gosh, cold corporate-esque agency. My God. Nobody here likes corporate, okay? Anyway, if you are at this stage, you're going to want to go to my website and check out the CEO Growth Lab, because that is literally exactly what we're doing inside that container. We are looking at your brand through the lens of my 6-part signature framework, taking that and what made your business so successful and translating it into that agency business model through the premium agency positioning, infrastructure, and marketing. So that is where a lot of people stop. But there is a 5th stage that nobody really talks about. And that's when you're literally like crushing it and you want to step into a new level of leadership. You want to be widely known as the industry leader and literally be in a category of one. So people stepping into this stage, they're often doing a lot more visibility work, trying to get on stage, podcasts, Instagram lives. They're looking for paid speaking engagements, and they're really trying to amplify the mission of their work and their unique difference beyond just the people inside their programs. But what happens is that their brand and website is still somewhere between stages 2 and 4, because not everybody goes through every single stage or makes an update at every single stage. And especially these people, because this whole time they've been prioritizing their messaging, booking out their containers. Sometimes they're building passive programs or incomes to support their main income as they step into more of a recognized leadership role, as that being their goal. And what happens is they hit a plateau where the clients are good, the income is good, the recognition is good, but there's still this desire and wanting of more. Okay, also side note, if you guys are watching on YouTube, you're probably going to notice me like gradually moving across my couch because the sun is chasing me across my office right now. Anyway, focus, Molly, focus. Okay, they're wanting more, right? So they want to go bigger. They want to have, maybe they have that one girl in their mind that they've been talking to in the DMs that they want to work with so freaking bad, but they aren't quite sure if she views her that way. Maybe they don't want to make it awkward by pitching, or maybe they did pitch and it just got brushed off. They want to have people instantly recognize them as the leader, but they are maybe still getting slapped in a comparison Google Doc with like other 3 or 4 or 5 other competitors that literally have nothing on them. They want their difference widely known and identifiable instantly, but they're still getting questions on sales calls. Like I literally just spoke to a client about this the other day where she was telling me, she's like, oh, like I've gotten this question on a sales call where somebody told me, I was comparing you and so, what makes you different? And she was like mind boggled, like mind blown, because she was like, isn't it obvious? No, it's not obvious. And what I find with people in this stage is that they want to do more, become more, be more, but it's just not quite there yet. And they don't quite know why. And that's because when you reach this stage of true industry leadership and thought leadership, there's a shift that has to take place from a conversion focus to a repelling focus. And the reason that we want to do this is because when you intentionally repel, you activate a level of leadership that nobody else uses. And that is what makes you incomparable to anybody else. And when you become incomparable to anyone else, you become irresistible to that top 20%. So coming back to that girl in your DMs that feels like quote unquote out of your league, when you repel the majority of people, you activate a level of leadership that makes her recognize you as being a true thought leader. When you repel anyone that isn't the top 20%, you speak to her identity in a way that she needs to truly see you as the leader that you are. And the thing about the top 20% is that they are such a unique group on their own that they also need to see uniqueness in order to see that leadership. So when you're at this stage, that's when you want to invest in an up-leveled premium brand and website that repels. And if you've been following me on Instagram, you know that's my shit. And that's a not so subtle plug, but it's my podcast. I do what I want. Sorry for that awkward pause, especially if you're on YouTube. You can see that. That was awkward. I'm so sorry. I had to drink some water and I missed my pause button. Anyway, let's do a quick recap. Stage 1, baby business owner. So you're really going to want to focus on doing maybe some DIY branding for consistency and recognition to create that credibility, and then really invest in learning about the foundation of building a culture, a community, and marketing yourself and your services so that you can actually book clients and build a community that's going to grow with you over time. And you can learn more about my signature brand building framework by checking out the Rebel Academy. Stage 2 is where you are starting to learn, or starting to land clients. I told you guys, I needed to get back in the swing of things, okay? Words are hard. But anyway, stage 2, you're starting to land clients. This is when you're going to want to invest in semi-custom brand or website and or a website template. And if you think most templates are the same, you can check out my template shop for the girls who hate templates. Stage 3 is where you are landing those consistent clients and wanting to level up, raise your rates, increase capacity and consistency. And this is when you're going to want to invest in a custom brand and a website with a focus on conversion. Stage 4, that is when you are scaling from a personal brand to an agency. So this is when you want to invest in an effective transition from personal brand to agency so that you can maintain the elements that made your brand so successful and scale it sustainably in an agency model, because it is not a one-to-one transition. It is not something that's super, super easy to do just by adding like we to your content. That's not how it works. It spreads across everything from your marketing to your infrastructure to your team management. And that is exactly what I help people do inside the CEO Growth Lab. So if you are transitioning from personal brand to agency, you're going to want to check that out on my website. And finally, stage 5 is where you are wanting to become the industry leader. And this is when you want to take the shift from conversion focus to, or like converting the most people possible, to repelling 80% of people so that you can become incomparable and irresistible to that top 20%. So if you are here, this is my specialty. I want to help you. I would love to design your brand and website. And you can check out everything on my website. If you are curious about what the right fit is, you can shoot me a DM on Instagram. We could chat. We can set up a call. I really don't care. Just get in touch with me. I'm totally happy to talk things out with you. I know I have a lot of different things going on. Anyway, if you guys liked this episode, please rate and review the show. Share it with a business bestie. So that we can spread the love and the impact and get this in the hands of more people. And as always, I thank you guys so much for listening. I'm so happy to be back, and I will see you in the next one.